New York, New York.
New York be about the Knicks, huh?
But the best thing about New York City is
K-N-I-C-K. Everybody say go New York, go New York, go!
Go New York, go New York, go!
Hey everybody, welcome to the New York Knicks podcast, episode 631, emergency podcast.
Emergency podcast. Leon Rose woke the hell up and gave us, I can't call this an early Christmas present because it's past Christmas, but an early New Year's present or an early trade debt. Like, he made a huge goddamn move. You want to tell everyone, Jay?
Yeah, so we had RJ and IQ going out with Detroit's second round pick for OG Anunoby, which I know you've had your eye on for a while.
Yes.
Precious and Malachi Flynn. So
I think it's Malachi.
Malachi, whatever. They got their backup center. So I guess Taj doesn't have to
I don't know if is Precious just 6'8". I don't know if is he a backup center?
Maybe.
I mean, he's probably a better center than Taj is at this point.
Either way, he's a backup center, backup forward.
Backup power forward.
The roster's like a little more well-rounded now.
So I have a question for you right off the bat. Do you think this was the plan all along? Because I've been talking about on the show that OG's agent is Leon Rose's son.
Mm-hmm.
This roster did not make sense from the moment the season started. We had too many guards. We were lacking a three. Why would Leon Rose go into the season without a true three on the roster?
So your thought is that Rose isn't a complete buffoon and that he actually had this master plan and he just needed some time to let it develop.
Yes. So I think we overreact. I overreact all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I call Leon Rose a buffoon because he's not doing anything when he's like, I don't need to put rumors out there. I'm silent and deadly. I know when to strike. And I think they knew this move was coming. I don't know, 40, whatever the 40 chess thing people want to say. But he knew, he talked to his son. His son was like, yeah, he's going to go here. We have to wait till the Raptors lower their price. And you really couldn't do that last year. And the Raptors were like, we have him for another season. This year, Raptors aren't going anywhere. He was going to be a free agent. The Raptors it made sense for the Raptors to say, screw it.
Yeah, so basically the Knicks probably didn't want to meet what IQ wanted for his new contract and vice versa for the Raptors. So,
well, if the Knicks had signed IQ in the offseason, this trade would be a lot harder because you would have needed to take a lot more money back.
Mm-hmm.
But because they didn't sign IQ, he was a real trade piece. I don't know what I'm more shocked about, the fact that the Knicks just got OG or the fact that IQ and RJ are not on the team anymore.
Yeah, it seems like kind of a lot just because IQ, I think, is really good.
By the way, they're going to be super shorthanded tonight against Indiana.
They are.
Because OG, Precious, Malachi are not going to be there on time, and RJ and IQ are clearly not on the team anymore. Whatever.
Yeah, it should be interesting. So, initial gut reaction? Are you excited about this, or are you happy?
I've been calling for this trade for months, so I'm definitely against it now.
I mean, the Knicks not giving up a first is great. And
yes.
It makes me think that it has to be part of another move.
Yeah, I mean, last show we did a couple days ago, I was saying we need to get, you have to use your draft pick to get a three. You have to get a three. And I was saying OG just made so much sense.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have a true three. You have an actual backup for Randall at the very least. We have all our first-round picks. You didn't use any first-round picks in this trade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, DeJounte Murray maybe, Donovan Mitchell, someone else is coming.
I think there's been all this noise about Leon reconciling with Clutch Sports. So I think that it has to be a Clutch player that is the second move, which is either Murray or Levine.
Oh, why would you do that? Why would you say Murray? I'm like, okay, not bad. Or we're going to get screwed with Levine.
I mean, I'm thinking it's Murray.
It's probably Murray.
Murray's not
I mean,
a good
maybe
shooter.
we don't. I have to say, how many times has there been a rumor out there and then Leon followed through with that rumor?
This wasn't a rumor, right?
No.
No.
I mean, I made up the rumor. I mean, like, I'm the one that was saying that the Knicks are getting OG because of the son. Like, other people said that online also. It wasn't my own, like, I didn't come up with it myself. But, like, that wasn't a big rumor out there. The Knicks were getting OG. It was just like the Knicks, like, he would make sense. Like, I
Yeah.
don't think it was a big story, the fact that his son was representing OG. People just said, like, the Raptors, OG's going to be a free agent. But everyone also said the Knicks were not going to trade with the Raptors because of the lawsuit.
Right. Right. So this front office, I do give them credit for not leaking every single thing. Remember when Phil was president and we knew exactly what was going to happen like 2 weeks in advance?
I mean, I'll tell you all the moves that Leon's made. The drafting Obi was out there. We knew going into the draft that he was a target. No one else, IQ, Grimes, no one else they drafted was, I mean, RJ was before them. No one else was an obvious draft pick. No one else was even mentioned. There's no rumors whatsoever. All the trades, Derrick Rose, there was a little bit of talk about Derrick Rose beforehand. Josh Hart, there was almost no talk about Josh Hart until it happened. And really haven't been that many more. And obviously, there was a lot of talk about Brunson beforehand.
Yeah. So last night, you watched last night's game, right?
Yeah.
That might have been. It's sad to see RJ go out like that, but that was the first half at least was maybe his worst first half, like as a Knick.
Let's talk through each player. So RJ, he had those great starts of the season, and that was like what 7 or 8 games.
I think it was 6, but yeah,
6 games, maybe the same amount of games that Randall sucked.
yeah,
Then Randall was like, "I take back the power from you."
right.
RJ has been atrocious this season. And it's kind of, you look at him and go like, I can't believe we haven't signed for the next few years. He's an unmovable contract. Obviously not unmovable. Yeah, it wasn't looking good. I was really getting the spot. And it seemed like Knicks Twitterverse and social media, everyone has really turned on RJ recently.
Well, if you go by effective field goal percentage, he's in the 28th percentile in the league, which
yeah, you were saying of
which means
players that take as many shots.
72% of the league is shooting better than him. It's bad.
Man, I don't know why the Raptors want him.
And as far as defense, he's in the 5%. So one of the
He's
worst.
bottom 5% in defense.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't always trust defensive stats, but that doesn't sound good.
I don't trust I don't think he's that bad, but he's not been good.
No, and he's been consistently pretty mediocre of a shooter. His free throw percentage went up this year.
It did, yeah.
I know people are like, he's 23, he's going to get better, but he's year 5 in the league. At some point, you are what you are. And I said last show, I think maybe another team could unlock him, a team that has a faster offense. Because I think he goes to the basket a lot, and maybe he gets the ball in transition more. The Knicks just weren't a good fit.
No, it wasn't. Like for a third pick, it was a disappointment. If he was drafted in late first or second round, it would be all right. He scored a lot of points, but it was inefficient.
A lot of guys, if you give them a lot of guys can shoot. A lot of guys can score a lot if you give them a high volume and let them shoot a low efficiency.
Right.
It's not
right.
the most helpful thing.
So, it's sad to see how it played out, but I think it was time. It just wasn't working out.
The first Knicks rookie to make it to year 5 and traded right after.
Right.
I mean, it's sad because you had such high hopes for him, and there were flashes where he was really good, but he really also just didn't fit well next to Randall, and Randall has clearly outplayed him.
Yeah.
I don't think it's close. Like Randall's like last night the Knicks looked atrocious last night. Randall had a pretty good game, except for a couple extra turnovers.
Yeah. So Jay Shady said, "Who starts at the 2?" You mean until the next trade? I'm guessing. So,
yeah, I mean, so the next trade is not happening like tomorrow. So like
it might. Who knows?
I mean, who knows? Yes, this came out of nowhere, and I'm shocked as any news came out on December 30th. But I'm assuming the starting lineup, obviously, it's Brunson and Randall and Ihart. I'm going to have to assume the Dante.
I think it's still Dante.
OG at the 3, clearly, Randall. And then the bench unit, I guess, who's the rest of the 9-man? A Precious now gets in the rotation, I assume, because we have a real backup. Grimes, Hart, and
Flynn. He's got to be the backup point guard.
Yeah. Am I missing someone? Did someone else drop out of the rotation?
You got Grimes, Hart, Flynn, Precious,
Oh, Taj.
and
Taj.
well,
I'm missing the backup center.
yeah, Taj might be phased out.
Yeah, I mean Taj also. What is Taj? Taj is like 6'9", right?
Yeah, yeah. So, I
I
mean,
mean, he'll just turn into what he's supposed to be, like break like the point of him being here is just like you really need a third center, not a second.
yeah. Pies Josh said instant reactions IQ will wind up being the best player in this trade. He might already be that, but OG makes the Knicks bigger. Now do Fournier, Grimes, and picks for Mitchell, and we're cooking.
Yeah. Let's stay on this trade before we move on to the next trade. And Taj is only 1 inch taller than Precious, so I assume and Precious is just better at this point. I would assume Precious takes his backup center minutes. You're right.
Mhm.
OG is a fantastic fit though.
He is. He doesn't need the ball a lot, which is good because dribbling is one of his weaknesses. But he's a solid spot up shooter.
He can shoot threes. He can
Yep.
play really good. He's a 3-and-D.
Yeah, like a legit 3-and-D guy. So
And when you saw the Knicks against Milwaukee, the Celtics, just any team that's big, it was a problem for the Knicks. They don't have anyone to guard. You just need taller players. Having a 6'7" small forward makes sense.
yeah. I think it's an upgrade over RJ.
You know what's Josh Hart? Didn't Josh Hart? We were the other night sent out a tweet saying or post whatever it is on X that he's not a forward. He doesn't have to be a
Yes.
forward anymore.
That's good news for Hart. Yes.
Yeah, maybe he's the backup small forward. I don't know, but he doesn't have to be a power forward anymore. Which
He's
seemed
going to
ridiculous.
be the backup small forward.
But this team, it's a huge upgrade.
IQ, you could tell something was up because last night RJ was playing terrible, and IQ didn't go in after halftime until like 3 minutes left in the third, which made like no sense to me because he had a good first half, and so I don't know if Tibbs didn't like him or I don't know what was going on, but he wasn't getting minutes relative to the quality of his play.
No, well, they gave his extra 5 minutes away to Dante, which is also when you have too many guards on the team, that kind of happens. And I think probably the Knicks just looked at it and said, like, well, first of all, you probably don't get this trade done if it's RJ and Dante or RJ and Grimes. You probably needed to have IQ in the trade to get the trade done. And they're probably like, we already committed a lot of money to guys that do very similar things that IQ does. You have to give up good players to get good players. He might this IQ. I really like IQ. He's going to be good on Toronto. He'll have a huge game against the Knicks at some point. But he's also like, he doesn't blow by people. When the defense like really concentrates on him, he has trouble. He's a streaky shooter. He plays good defense, but like OG's a much better fit for this team for what you need. And I think, do you think his production, like having Dante and Grimes with the shooting guard, like, is it that big of a drop off?
I'm just worried about a drop off in point guard play when Flynn is on the floor instead of Brunson.
Yeah, I mean that's something you but like even the point guard, like Dante DiVincenzo can handle some of the point guard duty. Yeah, you're gonna have a backup point guard issue. I've watched Malachi Flynn a little bit against the Knicks. He looked okay. I remember actually going into the draft, one of our fans sent us an email saying that the Knicks should target Malachi Flynn. They thought he was really good. He hasn't proven to be that good in the NBA. But
I mean, luckily he only needs to play about 14 minutes a game.
I mean, you also have, still competing for those minutes is Deuce. We still have Deuce McBride. He's also a backup point guard, and maybe Deuce is better than Malachi Flynn. I don't know.
Yeah, so Flynn has to play about 14 minutes. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not including McBride in that.
Yeah, whatever. Maybe McBride's shooting has been better this year, but yes, you're right. It's probably going to be Malachi Flynn. It'll be interesting. I mean, the Knicks defense immediately improved.
Yeah.
So much better defense. I think IQ is tough to give up. He gives you a lot, but on the other hand, I'm gonna sorry RJ. I think this is addition through subtraction with just getting rid of RJ. I just don't think he was helping the team anymore.
Yeah, and it's now you don't have that log jam, so you can actually have like a normal rotation with Dante and Grimes.
Right. I think Dante's been looking pretty good. I mean, he didn't shoot well last night, but generally been looking pretty good. I think Grimes, when he gets 20 minutes a game again, he'll look pretty good also.
Yeah, his numbers will go up until the next trade.
Yeah. What's coming next? If you had to rank not who you want, but well, I guess like not who you want, but who do you think the most likely? Who's the number one guy you think is most likely?
I think Murray. I really think the clutch rumors have some smoke, and I think it has to be a two now. I mean, they just traded for three. They're not trading Randall or Brunson.
Right.
They're not going to trade Ahart while Mitch is out for the season. So
Right. You can make another small move like with a leftover, like a protected pick for Drummond. You can still do that or someone else. You can still
Yeah.
get someone else on the cheap if you don't, if Precious does not work out to be the good backup center you need. But like,
right,
you're right. The two is really where the upgrade now looks like it has to be.
Yeah. So everyone in the chat's saying Donovan Mitchell, which is also a possibility. I just feel like with all the injuries in Cleveland, that kind of hurt the chances of Cleveland trading Donovan right now.
I mean, Cleveland's not, they're playing okay since the injuries. They are also, Donovan Mitchell's not a free agent until next offseason. So I feel like Cleveland's going to be like, hey, let's make another run with Donovan Mitchell, try to convince him to stay. And then if anything, move him next year.
He's
Like,
definitely
why
not
would they
st-
move him this year?
He's definitely not staying though.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like he's staying.
He's
It
been
seems like he would
pretty,
be like, give me the extension if I'm going to stay. Like,
he's done pretty much everything except outright say he's not coming back. He's like showing up to Cavs games in like Yankees hats. Like I mean,
they're like,
not
Donovan,
literally.
why do you
but-
still only stay in a hotel in Cleveland? I don't want to live here.
Right, exactly.
Who do you prefer, Donovan or Murray?
It's tough because Murray's bigger, better defender.
Yeah.
Donovan's that guy that you can give the ball to at the end of the game, and he's going to get you some points.
I mean, you really have a guy that can score.
Yeah.
It also I think this makes the life a lot easier for both Brunson and Randall. They really needed a third option. Well, I guess right now OG's not like OG's a good spot up shooter, so you have some level of third option. But I mean, once they do another trade, it would really make everyone's life a lot easier.
Yeah. So I'd be happy with either one. I guess if I had to choose, probably Mitchell.
Yeah, I mean Mitchell is an all-star. He can take it to another level. DeJounte Murray, I'm kind of a little bit taken back by his performance in Atlanta. Not that his numbers haven't been that bad, but the team has been atrocious.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can completely blame that on Trey.
No, Trey's been putting up like crazy numbers this season. I mean, I know he's one of the worst
Why
defenders.
are they so bad?
I don't know. I haven't watched enough Hawks games but on paper they look like they should be much better.
I mean, they don't really have well, they have Capella, but their 3 and 4 aren't amazing. But you'd think those two guards, people say basically DeJounte Murray's defense has been overrated. They say Trey doesn't play off the ball very well, so that kind of hurts having a second point guard. I don't know how well I haven't watched DeJounte Murray enough to know how well he plays off the ball, but you have to have a guy who plays off the ball well.
If he's not good playing off the ball, then I don't know. I don't know how good.
No, I mean, so Brunson's great off the ball, but I don't want him to just be removed from being point guard. Like Donovan Mitchell will play off the ball. Well, he's a shooting guard anyway, but or part point guard, but both of them can play off the ball. It's great to have both your guards be good off the ball.
Yeah. Conversely, it's not great to have both your guards be bad on defense.
Yes. So, I mean, either one would make some sense. I do think they're talking about Leon talking to Clutch. It seems like there's something there. And Atlanta's season going nowhere.
I mean,
what do you give up? Now you don't have the players to give up. I guess you can still give up Grimes.
Maybe if you are playing 4D chess, you call up Cleveland and you're like, we're ready to pull the trigger on Murray. You're going to lose Donovan for nothing if you don't trade him to us now.
We'll give you 2 unprotected and a protected first.
Right, we won't have the assets next season to trade for him. So
do you know we can include Deuce McBride in a trade? We can right now if you guys call us back.
And if you really, really twist our arm, we could throw in Sims.
Did you know we still have Fournier in his contract?
Did we mention it?
Do you think? So I guess Toronto in this trade, by the way, they. So do you think they must think they can make RJ better? I mean RJ to Toronto made a lot of sense just from like he's Canadian and so forth.
I think IQ is probably the centerpiece in this trade, but yeah, I mean, they probably think they can fix RJ.
By the way, I have no doubt of OG will be willing to sign an extension with him. I mean, he's expiring, of course. If he leaves, it would look really bad for the Knicks. On the other hand, his agent is Leon's son. I'm not saying tampering has happened, but if it hasn't, that'd be absurd.
Right. Yeah, they probably got together for Christmas dinner and said, "Yeah, let's make this happen."
They're like I'm not passing the turkey until you tell me that he's going to resign with us.
Right. One scoop of
it's
mashed
gonna-
potatoes for not resigning, 2 scoops for resigning.
I mean, how I am so excited to see what this team. And this it's going to take a little while for the team to gel. By the way, do you know where? I don't think I realized. Do you know where OG is from?
No, is it New York?
London.
London. Okay.
I don't know. I don't. They just didn't.
You brought that up like that meant something.
No, it didn't mean anything. I was just looking at his basketball reference.
I thought you were gonna be like, yeah, he was born behind Rucker Park or something.
He's from your hometown, Jay. He went to school with you. You didn't notice? But yeah, this is. So I have to think Leon knew this trade was coming before the season even started, or he knew like this is what we're gonna make happen. That's why the roster didn't make sense. That's why they weren't that concerned with IQ's minutes. They were probably elated initially when RJ was looking, or maybe when RJ looked good at the beginning of the season, they were like, should we still do this trade? Then RJ comes back from post migraine, they're like, oh, this is the RJ we remember. Let's do the trade.
Right.
But wow, crazy.
Yeah.
You like it?
I do like it. I was getting the feeling that they weren't going to come to an agreement with the contract for IQ. And obviously, RJ we've been pretty vocal about our feelings on RJ.
But by the way, Knicks Twitter, Knicks social media, what will they talk about? The 2 leading stories were IQ not getting enough minutes and he's not going to resign, that part. And then the RJ sucks. All these stories are gone.
Well, yeah, as soon as RJ has a good game, it's going to be super annoying.
I can't believe you traded him. He's 23. Did you see that? He scored 30 points on 45% shooting.
shots. Yeah, so I mean, I'm super happy they only gave up a Detroit second round pick.
That's the big thing.
Because
You-
over
you
the
gave
summer,
up-
Toronto's like, yeah, we want like 3 first rounders for OG, and you're like, that's way too much. So
I'm gonna give this trade an A. The fact that you did not include a single first rounder, like this is an A. Like you improved on the position you need to improve upon. You moved the contract you probably need to move on from. You lost IQ, but like it's just a better fit for the roster.
yeah.
What grade do you give the trade?
I give it a B plus.
Okay, so apparently someone doesn't like the trade. Why do you hate this, Jay? Why is this the end? We should blow up the team right now.
So I just IQ hurts because I think he was fun to root for.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
He was good on both ends of the floor.
His plus minus was always outstanding.
I felt more often than not this season when he went in, the Knicks would go on a run, and that run would end as soon as he got pulled.
Yeah.
So,
The other night when he got pulled off the floor for RJ, and the entire all Knicks fans were like, "Why is this happening?"
yeah. So
Now it doesn't matter, and now I guess maybe they're like, the Raptors said to put him back in. Okay, we'll put him back in. Let's see what he can do.
But
Okay, great.
honestly, if this is the first half of a second move, we have to assume that the next trade is going to be for more of a star kind of player.
Yeah.
Which means that IQ was going to be back to like 15, maybe 20 minutes a game, and you don't want to pay $25 million for a guy that's like only getting that many minutes.
We just freed up a bunch of cap space also. If you look at
Yes.
RJ's contract is gone. I don't have the cap number, and Fournier is off the books after the season. Though I imagine Well, I guess OG is going to get RJ's money,
Yeah.
and but Precious is also a free agent. Though we'll see what happens with him. But and whoever they're gonna get a big contract. Like this does not make the Knicks a contender yet, but the next move might.
That's the final move. That's the all-in move. They're gonna trade probably all of the protected picks, maybe some of their own, and a couple of rotation players. So that's and then they'll be capped out, and they'll not have most of their assets. So the next move is the final move.
I have to
Rose's
assume
master
it's
plan.
2 unprotected firsts, this year's and 2 years from now, and maybe one or maybe 2 of the protected firsts, and maybe Grimes, plus Fournier.
Yeah, I think it's definitely Grimes, Fournier, and then however many picks it takes.
Well, I guess like if it's Donovan Mitchell, then it takes a bunch. I don't. For Murray, it should take a little less. Like you should be able to only put maybe 1 unprotected first of your own.
Yeah.
Though
No,
maybe I don't know what gets.
I would be surprised if it took more than 1 or 2, because you're throwing in probably all the protecteds, which is like 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be nice if the Knicks still have a draft pick, whether it's Dallas or theirs, or right, like this offseason, so they can actually bring in another like young player. Like
Yeah.
I don't want this team to be done with drafting,
Mhm.
but it does seem like now you really have to make another move, which I'm sure they were aware of.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll see. Maybe we'll end up doing another emergency podcast tomorrow.
Or yeah, 2 hours from now, we're like, oh my god, the Knicks got Donovan Mitchell.
Right. So, yeah, overall, I think we're feeling pretty good about it, right?
The team is clearly. Would you agree, Jay? The team is clearly better than it was yesterday.
Yes. I think definitely the starting lineup is way better. The bench is slightly worse, but overall, it's a net positive.
Yeah, I mean, you now you have a real 3 who could shoot threes.
Mm-hmm.
Now your defense should look better.
I mean,
It's-
if Precious takes Taj's minutes, that's probably an upgrade too.
Yeah, like these are all positives. Losing IQ sucks. Losing RJ does not suck. I hate like he just you wanted to root for him, you wanted him to get better, but at the same time you're looking at it like is he ever gonna really get better? This contract is gonna be like a noose around our neck, like it's gonna be really, and it just made so much sense to trade him to Toronto.
Yeah, as much as I wanted him to shine, like, it had to be realistic, and he wasn't really improving. He's been terrible for a couple weeks now, and it's year 5. You can't be terrible for like a month straight. Like that's
Right. If you're the Raptors, you're like maybe our offense will be faster. We'll be able to unlock some of RJ. IQ is someone we feel like could be a borderline all-star. And the good thing is that we could probably re-sign IQ and RJ will have like we don't get that many free agents in Toronto, so now we can build around. Maybe we can build around these guys.
I think
And we
Raptors are about to blow it up. I think Siakam's gone soon.
I think Siakam's gone too. So yes, I agree with that. But you also have what's his name there? Their young stud
Barnes.
Barnes. Yeah, Scotty Barnes. You have
Yeah.
Scotty Barnes. You just wanted to build around. You needed a point guard. I mean, you needed more there. You had too many guys. You just weren't gonna pay all the money to go all in on a team that wasn't going anywhere for the Raptors.
Yeah.
But I love this move.
Big task at hand says, can we please stop this trade? Brady and Joe say Donovan Mitchell. Ryan says another trade's coming. Curious says Murray is too much of a drama queen. Mitchell's a better fit. I did
Yeah,
hear
he
some
sounds-
rumors that Murray does have some drama. Knickerbocker Ave, how you doing? He likes the trade. Said it's good on all fronts, and Siakam's going to be traded.
I have to assume that like I think every Knick fan thinks there's another trade coming. So whether it's tomorrow or just sometime before the trade deadline in February, like something's coming.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Yeah. This is not the last move, but this makes the team a lot more interesting.
It's kind of exciting, like to know that
Super exciting.
To know
How
that
could it
we're
not be
just-
exciting?
the Knicks are just not going to punt year after year, and they're actually going to push their chips in, and then we get to see what we have. And then
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all there are things to be annoyed at Leon for, but like this he's made this team a lot better since he's got here, and he continues to make the team better. And this is an exciting move. It's a logical move.
so after the next move, either the Knicks are contenders or he messed it up, and we're gonna have to just quit the podcast. So we'll see. Stay tuned.
I have to think the team is flat out better than they were before.
Yeah, yeah.
Now you still got you got two potential all-stars in Randall and Brunson. You got another one potentially coming in. Even if they get like DeJounte Murray, you have a very good player. Like you just upgraded the team.
Yeah, yeah.
And hopefully there'll be a pick or two left where you could trade to upgrade the bench.
Or you
It's
just
really
keep the
unfortunate
picks.
that Mitchell Robinson's injured when we like this looks so exciting. It would be great to have Mitchell Robinson still here.
I know. Well, maybe they actually keep some of the picks and they actually draft somebody and they actually nail the draft pick. Is that asking for
You
too
kind
much?
of have to keep like they don't let you trade consecutive draft picks in the NBA.
Yeah.
Consecutive year draft picks. So
Yeah.
like because the NBA is like we know the Knicks would do this, so we have to stop them from doing
That
this.
was,
So at some point we'll have a draft pick.
Cleveland, right? They traded like 8 years in a row or something insane.
Yeah, I forget what team it was, but they made a rule because they were like we can't let a team do this to their fan base.
Right. Just insane.
Yeah.
It's a good thing that is a rule because you know the Knicks would have done that. Like at least three. The Isaiah era, we probably would still be giving up draft picks from that.
And you can only trade like 5 years out, which is also good because like Isaiah would have been like, oh, all our picks from 2025 to 2035? Sure.
It would have
Also,
been
that's the
like
Eddie Curry deal.
that Mets deal where they're still paying the guy like 30 years later.
Yes, by the Bobby Bonilla deal.
Yeah, the Bobby Bonilla. Yeah, you know Isaiah would have done something like that.
But I actually forget who did the Eddie Curry deal, but
I'm pretty sure that was
either way,
Isaiah.
who was which one was that?
I think that was Isaiah.
Was that Isaiah? Okay. Anyway, yeah, I'm ecstatic. I want to watch them against Indiana tonight, of course, but I'm ecstatic to see the first game when these guys are all going to be playing together.
So who's playing tonight? It's going to be Brunson, Dante. I guess Hart's going to start.
Hart's going to start. Grimes, you have off the bench.
Okay, I mean,
You'll be shorthanded, basically. You'll
Yeah.
have to play.
we'll see some McBride.
Maybe Fournier gets to play tonight.
I was actually calling for Fournier last night.
I was starting to think Fournier should take RJ's minutes. I mean, not.
I was
super
literally
serious,
calling.
but
I was serious when I was calling for that. I mean, if they're both going to stink on defense, at least Fournier could hit some threes.
exactly. At least Fournier's a good 3-point shooter. OG shoots 6-3. I mean, this season alone, he's shooting 6 threes a game. He's shooting 37% from three. Last year, he shoot 38%, 36% the year before, 39% the year before.
It's all above
He's
average.
a solid 3-point shooter.
Yeah, 36% average. So above average shooter.
Yeah, RJ is not a good 3-point shooter. I think that's settled. Randall has not been great on shooting threes this year, but you made a good point that he's just shooting less threes and like it's working out well.
He realized he stinks at them, so he's taken over 3 less 3-point shots a game, and
Which is huge.
If you look at his efficiency numbers, they're like the highest of his career, just because
They're skyrocketing
he's
ever since
playing
he
to
stopped
his-
really shooting the threes.
Yeah, he's playing to his strengths, and those 5 threes a game he's taken now, most of those are he's wide open and he kind of has to take those. So
in the flow of the game, he's not like just like gunning. I mean, I imagine there'll be one game where he hits 3 in a row and then shoots 8, but like
Yeah.
he's generally not gunning for threes.
he's
which
not
is his game.
looking. Yeah, he's not looking for threes. He realized he's bigger than most guys, and he just bullies them down low now.
He's been attacking the basket. He's been running the floor. He's been like sometimes doing the outlet thing that Obi used to do.
I wanted him
Like
to
we're
bully
getting good.
Paolo
Sorry.
more last night because he seemed to be just bullying the crap out of him. Most of the time he got the ball. It's just I feel like they didn't attack him enough. They should have just got him in foul trouble.
Yeah, no, I agree with that also. I don't know why they didn't do like some things they do don't make sense, but I mean Brunson was really off last night. It's hard to win when Brunson's off also.
Yeah, yeah.
RJ led the comeback, the fake comeback, which was the last thing RJ did as a Knick, was led a fake comeback for a fake number 3 pick.
All right, so we'll be back next Thursday unless the Knicks make another trade. Then we'll fit in another emergency trade. If you want to email us, nyknickspodcast@gmail.com. We're NY Knicks Podcast on Instagram, Twitter, Patreon, and Facebook, and at NY Knicks Podcast on YouTube. I think that covers everything, right?
Yeah. And Jay, when are you getting your OG jersey?
I already ordered it. I
I'm
was
really-
surprised they already had them printed up already. I guess it really was some collusion going on.
Yeah, I can't link it to anyone except for the jersey manufacturers.
Right. All right. So, yeah, I guess we'll see what happens in the Pacers game tonight, and see how.
What's
new
the
team looks
over
next
on the
week.
betting for Obi?
I don't think they released the over yet, but I'm definitely betting the over. Yesterday, I bet the over on threes for 3 different Magic players, and 2 of them hit. Cole Anthony was off.
But Obi's going to have a career night tonight.
Yeah, I'm gonna bet the over on Obi tonight. You know it's happening.
It just has to. That's just how the Knicks world works. But this is as good as thank you, Leon Rose. You want to give a thank you to Leon Rose?
A tentative thank you. I want to see what the second move is first.
You're such a hater.
No, I just don't want to have to do
End the show, Jay.
an
I don't want to hear
apology.
your pessimism.
An apology for my thank you. It's not pessimistic. It's cautious.
No, stop being cautious. We have to go back to In Leon We Trust.
After watching the Knicks for the last 35 years, I am permanently cautious.
I am just elated with the trade. So he's in my good graces now.
Is this our first trade reaction episode where we're actually positive?
No, I was hesitant about the Josh Hart trade. I think we were very positive about the Derrick Rose trade.
The second one.
The second one, yes. I mean, they haven't made that many trades.
Yeah. Tyson Chandler one, I think we were okay with.
Oh, I mean, we're going way back. Yes, we were happy with Tyson Chandler trade, absolutely.
Well, I mean,
and the Melo trade, I was happy with. You were not.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. All right. So thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks for joining in the chat. And Jimmy says, "What a joke!" So he's not happy with that.
How could you not be happy with this trade? The Knicks
I think
didn't
it's-
have a 3.
Well, I think 1, it's IQ, and 2, there's still a lot of RJ believers out there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like losing IQ, but like we have a bunch of other guards, so I'm good with that. And as you said, like the bigger point here, even the bigger point of anything is if we're assuming that there's another big move coming for a 2, the Knicks didn't believe IQ was the guy, and IQ was going to lose minutes. So.
Yeah. Yeah, to the point where everyone would just be screaming about his minutes for the rest of his career. So
No, and I said like when the Knicks didn't sign him in the offseason, like they had to be like this. The reason we didn't sign him more than anything was we wanted to have the ability to trade him.
yeah, he said IQ is needed. Okay, with RJ. Yeah, that's what I figured. I think that's the general consensus here.
Yeah, no one likes losing IQ. I think RJ. I wish him good luck.
Yeah, he seems like a nice guy.
Yes.
All right, thanks for listening, everybody, and we will be back in a few days.
This is the end.
Some people don't like this. I'm just looking on like some people do not like this.
Oh yeah, I mean, every trade there's going to be a good portion that are going to think it's the worst thing ever.
I hate this team. How do you hate this team? Like, it makes sense.
Yeah,
You know, when I like, it's like clearly you have picks to like to make another move, and this you made the team better.
I think you have to look at it from the as a part 1 of 2.
Yeah, exactly. I'm looking at Kevin O'Connor. That's exactly what he wrote, basically.
Yeah, I mean it's clear it's part 1 of 2. They can't just. It's not like the Knicks are gonna be like, well, we're done. This is our
The
championship
Raptors
roster.
low-key fleeced the Knicks. Come on.
I saw that. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because I asked what people are, how people are feeling. I really think it's mostly just love for IQ, which I get. I mean, IQ is
Yeah. But you
one
make
of
a
my.
good point about him not being on this team in the future, and
Yeah. I mean, if they're not going to start him, he's not going to be playing enough minutes. And do you want to pay somebody 25 million a year? I think 23 is what he wanted for a guy who's going to be playing like 20 minutes a game max, probably.
the problem with IQ to a certain extent is he can't blow by guys. When they concentrate him on defense, he has trouble getting his shot off a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's a very good player. I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna look at like the problems with him, like sometimes when the defense is focusing on him, he can't get a shot off.
Well, the thing is, to get better, like you're gonna have to sacrifice some players. The problem is most of these Knicks are likable, so no matter who they trade, we're gonna be like, oh, I kind of like that guy.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't like trading RJ makes sense. This is a
And we're gonna lose somebody else in the next trade, and we're gonna be like, oh, that kind of sucks. I mean, hopefully it's just Fournier and Grimes, but you never know. Could be Dante,
people
could
make
be
some
Hart.
dumb like Orlando beat the Knicks, so they made a panic deal. Do you really think this was like something that they just spur of the moment they made since last night?
All right, if we lose a game to the team in the 4th seed right now, we're gonna blow up the team.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, I'm gonna close the
All right.
locker room. Thanks again, everybody.